Jacksonville attorney Kelly Mathis, once accused of being the mastermind behind a racketeering and money laundering scheme, has now filed a federal lawsuit for what he considers wrongful prosecution. Mathis represented a nonprofit group called Allied Veterans of the World when it was accused of operating illegal gambling cafes back in 2013. Mathis was convicted in connection to that case, but that ruling was later thrown out. On Your Side's Troy Klesch joins us live now with details on this new lawsuit filed against those he says conspired against him. Troy?
That's exactly right, Heather. Now, he filed this 23-page lawsuit, which kind of details everything that occurred a few years ago. But Mathis told us earlier today that he is seeking vindication against those who prosecuted him.
Now the tide is turned.
Kelly Mathis saying he's on the offense, suing those who investigated him and Allied veterans for illegal activity at internet cafes the charity owned.
It's now time to try to make those that did this to me, that took away my livelihood, took away my practice, took away 4 years of my life, to hold them accountable.
Mathis was the only one of 57 defendants to fight the charges and was initially found guilty on 103 gambling-related charges. His conviction was later overturned. However, the state chose not to retry the case. His law license suspended for 4 years, but later restored. But Mathis says the convictions destroyed what he earned.
I lost a lot of money. I lost 4.5 years of my life. I lost a lot of money because of what they did. They took my dream of running a successful law firm.
Now he is seeking $50 million in damages for those legal fees and also for all the lost income that he, again, lost through that time that he was suspended from practicing law. And we're going to have more on this story coming up on First Coast News at 6 o'clock. But for now, live in Mandarin, Troy Klesch, First Coast News, on your side.